We first took over this property in 1997. When we first saw it, it was covered in blackberry, Scotch broom, shrubs up to here, and birds. It was what really drew us to this. And we have managed this property to continue to provide habitat for birds. So we did do one helicopter spray to kind of beat back the blackberry and help us get a good start on it. We rescued every single Doug fir that we could find, but we also wanted to keep the amazing hardwoods when we could. The madrone on this property are beautiful trees and great for wildlife.
We started with a lot of different directions that we could have gone, right? You've got this planted Douglas fir, and some people would have pushed this to a straight Douglas fir, pretty much pure Douglas fir area. But our interests were more diverse than that. So we chose a different path where we preserved hardwoods and shrubs in different places throughout that matrix of Douglas fir. So we certainly have our economic goals, but within that context, we are really trying to sort out ways that we can maximize the habitat value for a lot of different wildlife.
Leaving important habitat elements such as hardwoods, hardwood shrubs, hardwood trees, and dead wood is really easy if you want to provide for wildlife habitat. You just have to notice what's there and take a little care when you're harvesting and planting. The forest is very dynamic. The habitat is always changing. It's never that it's not habitat, it's always just different habitat. So there's birds that are associated with the conifers, like hermit warblers and golden crown kinglets. And then there's bird species that are associated with the understory and shrubs, like thrushes and warblers. And so when you open up the canopy and allow development of the understory, you will invite those bird species associated with deciduous shrubs and understory development.
Behind me is an area that's about 40-year-old Douglas fir trees. It's an area where we've taken an opportunity to try to start redeveloping an understory. The overstory was pretty dense, so we have opened that up to put more light down below. And you can see behind me the hazel that's really starting to come along now. It produces a lot of insects on the leaves and the nuts that the rodents really go for.
Really, a lot of plant species that foresters view as potentially competing with conifers are important for wildlife. The shrubs and hardwoods are vital to wildlife because they provide food resources that the conifers don't. So it's important to keep these diverse vegetation species in the mix.
We're standing in an example of where we have tried to open up the space around one of the hardwood trees. The reason we're doing this is we want to keep the hardwoods for the wildlife value that they have. Both the insects and these guys make a lot of berries, which are really important.
5 years ago, this area was a meadow with a creek, a seasonal creek running down through here that gets very dry in the summer. And I thought, wow, I have an area that I could think about creating and developing a hedge. Dave and I talked about what native plants could grow here and do well, what shrubs, what bushes, and how that might attract more wildlife. We have currant, willow, ninebark, twin flower. We have a volunteer ash, roses, spirea. These are native shrubs that we're just bringing along and to help improve this habitat.
We're down in our little meadow area, which we enjoy for the sunshine, but it also has in it a mineral spring that brings in the band-tailed pigeons. Our management here is involved in providing both the ladders that they like to use. They land high in the tops of these fir trees, and then they hop down through them. But they don't like a lot of brush around because they can't see the predators. So we've kept this open. It's kind of a win-win for all of us.
We have been able to do what we have been able to do on this forest in no small part due to the kinds of communications and connections we've developed with other members of the community. We have been very involved with the extension community in Benton County and Polk County. There's just so many people who are interested in wildlife, in birding. We have extension groups come out for learning opportunities. Dave has brought university classes out. And there's a real community of people who are curious, people who know different kinds of things about plants, animals. I encourage everyone to reach out and find out who those people are.